up again, didn't you, Rob?
Yeah. I tried to put the clock up.
Live
from New York. It's Saturday. Wrong show. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Midnight's Edge After Dark. I am, of course, your host at the master of Mexican mofo, even though I'm not Mexican, Mr. Robb Robot Shlomo. Coming from Shabby Road Studios. With me, as always, Mr. Tom Connors.
Hello, and good evening, and good morning, and good afternoon, wherever it is, whatever time it is, wherever you're at. See, that's why you're the narrator supreme.
Well, as Toby Keith says, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So if it's 5 o'clock, wherever you are, and you're over 21, pour yourself a beer. You've earned it. So yes. How's everything in Cheesecake Land?
Cheesy.
Okay. No, why would it not be? And with us, as always, is the ever lovely, effervescent, ebullient, and oh so knowledgeable, coming to you live from the land of legal weed, Miss Mecha Random.
Hello. Am I really knowledgeable? Now I have to forget everything now because now I'm under pressure to remember.
No, don't step on the bed.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey, why don't you ever give me compliments like that?
Because she's better looking than you are.
That's sexist.
Sort of isted. You're going to start a movement? You too?
I'm going to have a movement.
Yeah. You always have a movement in the morning. You know, it's good way to start the day. Bowl of oatmeal, then you have a nice movement. So, yeah, I look at the toilet and I say, hey, me too.
That's what I have every night before bed.
Oh, isn't that right, old man Picard?
Well, that and boobies.
Yes.
Make it so.
Make it so. So, actually, there's been a shit ton of news over the last couple of days, hasn't there?
Oh, hell yes. We take one day off and all hell breaks loose.
Yes. Start us off, Tom.
Well, first of all, we lost a legend, she was a living legend in Hollywood, but especially when it comes to females and female directors and actresses, comedians. Miss Penny Marshall passed away yesterday, sadly, at the young age, actually, of 75. Not too old, really. I mean, it sounds old, but it's not. You know, she should have had at least another 20 years left in her. And as much as she's done, it's hard to believe she's never won an Oscar.
Yeah.
I don't even think she's been nominated. Between Big and League of Their Own, you would think that I just can't believe that.
Yeah, Big, League of Their Own. What else did she direct? There's a couple other pretty good ones in there. Yeah. Didn't she direct LA Stories?
I think so. But that's the thing. I mean, most people, of course, know her from Laverne and Shirley, but she even acted here and there in bit parts. I remember in The Hard Way and a few other movies. You know, it's just sad when something like this happens to somebody that still should have had a few more years left in her. Mecha, as a female director and comedian and a star of, a huge show.
Oh, yeah. She was a modern day Lucille Ball. Maybe even beyond because like Lucy never really directed, but Penny Marshall, Penny Marshall was one of those people that like you probably all, like, at least people my generation, you have grown up with in some form or another, be it the movies or the old Laverne and Shirley show. Like, yeah, and
Gary Marshall's her brother, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Created The Odd Couple didn't create The Odd Couple, but created that version of The Odd Couple.
Produced the television TV show or whatever, yeah.
For television. Happy Days, I mean.
Well, she was even in The Odd Couple back in the 60s a little bit.
Oh,
she played the secretary.
Now, wasn't there a famous story where she tried out for the part? Well, it would have originally been on Happy Days for one of Fonzie's girlfriends that turned into Laverne and Shirley, but she did it under a different name so they wouldn't know who she was.
Have you
ever heard that story before?
I've never heard.
I think I've heard that. Yeah,
I thought I heard that story or read it or something like that. If somebody out there in the comments knows, please let me know, because I thought I've heard that story before, and it sounds like something she would do. But anyway, so she got the part as one of the girls, and like I said, those two were supposed to be, I think, continuing girlfriends of Fonzie's, but they were so popular that they ended up getting their own show, of course.
They were set up on blind dates with Fonzie set him up, Richie Cunningham, on a blind date with Shirley.
Well, I could be wrong about this, but weren't they on the show a couple times before they got their own show? Yeah,
before they got a spinoff. Yeah, they were on a show a couple times. Yeah, and like I said, I remember beforehand when I saw it in syndication when Penny Marshall played Oscar, like as Mecha said, Oscar Madison's secretary, Myrna Turner, and and actually her husband at the time, Robb Reiner, was on made an appearance on the same show as her boyfriend or husband or whatever it was. Sheldon, not Sheldon. Sheldon. If you forgot, don't say the O at the end. That was the running joke on that episode. But it was the 70s, late, early 70s. So someone who's been around, she'd been in television a long time.
Right. Well, and when we bring her up a lot. Well, because we always constantly talk about, because people are like, oh, they need female directors and there's no female. Every time we bring her up, she's so underrated, just like many of the other famous female directors that have been out there for years already that never got their just dues. This woman never. Yeah, and she never got her just dues. That's for damn sure. Because I looked it up the other. I'm like, didn't she get nominated at least for Big?
I don't.
No, she did not. I looked it up. She did not. Sadly.
Yeah, as the wise prophet by the Korean Fyuk Yu would say, "You bitches better recognize. Recognize. You better recognize."
Everyone I think some of the problem with her not getting nominated for like Big or League of Their Own or any of those was that they were kind of marketed as more comedic than they ended up being.
Yeah, but I think Big did get nominated for Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken. I know Tom Hanks got nominated for sure. Because that was like the first time he got nominated, if I'm not mistaken. And then he didn't win that year, but he did the next year, I believe, for Philadelphia, if I remember right. Or the year after that. I think it was a couple years after that.
It's he got nominated, and it was Best Screenplay.
Yeah, nominee Best Actor, Tom Hanks, Best Original Screenplay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was a couple of years for Philadelphia, though. That was like 93, 92, something.
Well, yeah, because Tom Hanks in the 80s, especially in the early 90s.
Well, that was the movie that made him a A-list star.
Yeah.
Because he also got nominated for it. I mean, it was right off of The Burbs, which was also a hit for him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were hits, but he was still a comedy actor.
Well, he had a lot more misses than he did hits before that. Yeah. That's what people forget.
And he came right out of sitcoms, too. And a lot of people, like, you don't take your sitcom actors very seriously. They need to really earn their way into the Oscar stuff. I mean,
I think didn't Gary Marshall make Bosom Buddies, too?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think there was a connection there as well.
Peter Scolari and Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks has wanted to buy the rights to Bosom Buddies just to bury it. I'm like, no, man, come on, just own it. We all did things we're not proud of. I still do things I'm not proud of.
But if you want to really get technical, she's probably the reason why Tom Hanks has the career he has now. Because as I was saying before, and Matthew Godet, however you say your name, sorry. I remember Joel versus Volcano. He said that movie flopped when it first came out.
Oh, yeah.
Most of Tom Hanks' movies before Big were misses. He only had like 2 or 3 hits. Splash, because like Money Pit flopped. I remember that was a big flop.
Yeah, that was a good movie though.
It was a good movie, but it flopped. It became more of a video hit. And then because like Man with the One Red Shoe was, I think,
I saw that the movies. Yeah,
Bachelor Party. Other than that, most of his movies didn't make money up until Burbs and Big.
I love the Bachelor Party. I love Bachelor Party.
He was also in the Bonfire of the Veil, whatever that movie was, and some other shit.
Jelly said, first of all, he was also in Volunteers with John Candy. He actually got teamed up with John Candy a couple times. Volunteers with John Candy. Like you said, One Red Shoe. He was actually in a movie with Jackie Gleason. One of Jackie Gleason's last roles called Nothing in Common, about a father who was estranged from his son. And his father had diabetes and wasn't taking good care of himself. And it turns out, the father's not in good health, and they, try to reconcile their differences. But that was actually one of Tom Hanks's big breakout dramatic roles. So, but there was actually, talk about getting back to Penny Marshall. There was a joke actually on The Critic one time. He's sitting down to write a piece. Laverne, Meathead, and Opie, great directors of our time. No. So, yeah, Tom,
It's not wrong though.
No. And like I said, a lot of great directors have to come from somewhere. They usually come. And the thing about television, you direct television, you do it more often. You get to learn faster. Anson Williams, Potsy Weber, he used to direct Star Trek Voyager.
No, yeah.
And Deep
Tony Dow directed Babylon 5.
Yeah.
God, yeah. They all so many of the sitcom actors from the 50s and 60s ended up directing.
Oh yeah.
But we went way off course now.
Well, wait, kind of, but it kind of comes back. Kind of comes back around though.
But yeah, I mean, Penny Marshall. Damn.
Like I said, Penny Marshall, like the female directors of the era. Penny Marshall, Martha Coolidge, Amy Heckerling, Betty Thomas. Betty Thomas used to be on Hill Street Blues.
Yeah.
Very prominent director.
They never get any credit, and Penny's one of the most prominent and never ever did get enough credit for what she did for not just female directors, but like we said, a lot of the actors that she was involved with and all that kind of stuff. So, well, she will be missed. Unfortunately, we have to move on to more news. There's way too much of it.
Mm-hmm. So anyway,
so how big a fan are you guys of Aladdin?
I love Aladdin. I love the movie, and oh god.
For those of you who were expecting a blue CGI genie, I present to you.
Get it off!
Is Mr. T too old?
Get jiggy with it. Na. Oh yeah, there was the picture on the front cover though. He looks like fucking Sinbad. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, what's Sinbad busy? What's he been up to lately? They could have saved a lot of money and just got Sinbad.
He's actually on a sitcom. He's on a sitcom now. I don't remember which one. Dear God, this is terrible. This looks terrible. Oh, check out those shoes though. Those pointy shoes. Geez, climb a fence with those things.
I hate it when they do these remakes anyway. No. Just no. And okay, so I'm one of the no.
Yeah, I've lost any and all interest in this fucking thing.
That's good. I like that.
Wow.
And
I don't even like Will Smith, and I'll go on record and say
I'm not love him. Don't get me wrong. And then he just went down crazy train lane like a lot of actors do when they get a lot of money, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I just hate a lot of the choices he's made in the last few dozen years. So what the fuck, Disney?
Yeah.
Now, of all the times I would expect you to do the CGI thing, makes sense here. I get it. You got Will Smith. You want to, see his face. Then just make the CGI genie look like his face. Kind of like they did with the genie looking like Robin Williams' face.
Will Smith probably has it in his contract that he has to appear in this movie.
Well, I'm sure.
But Will Smith, okay, here's I bring this up a lot, and this bears repeating. Will Smith plays the same exact character in every single one of his movies. Will Smith. That's because he has his own writers, and he brings them in to punch up his dialogue to make it sound more like himself. If you go back, you watch Men in Black, you watch Independence Day, you watch probably, I don't know about Legend of Bagger Vance, but Concussion, he played the African doctor, or whatever he was. But every single one of his movies, he sounds like Will fucking Smith. And
for a reason.
Yeah, because he's playing Will Smith. Will Smith is a brand name. Hey, Tyler Bioshock, what's going on?
I guess they're Hey, Tyler. I guess there's
but like a summoning. You talk about Disney. I just hear it and go. God.
But I've heard a horror story that I got to get into maybe for a Midnight's Edge video about I Am Robot and Will's writers and how they just basically hijacked that whole movie.
I Am Robot. I Am Legend.
I Am Robot. I Am Legend was killed by a test audience. That I know.
It's like Robot.
I saw when I watched I Am Legend. When I watched I Am.
Did I say I Am Robot?
Yeah, you said I Am.
Did I?
So was it
Well,
about
fuck it,
one
they're-
man with a dog fighting robots and vampires?
They should have just been called I Am Will Smith in a movie again.
They both have shitty endings.
Let me tell you.
I'll give I Am Legend at least the credit for when they did at least release the version with the other ending, and that movie version, that version is much better. I would say.
Let me tell you though, when I saw I Am Legend, I said, hey, actually, this is pretty good. And then the ending turned into just a generic kind of monster movie, and I was like, this just ruins everything. And when I wrote this episode of the web series or sitcom I'm working on, where the campus has been cleared out of the university, and this guy sitting by the pool, and he says, "My name is Robert Neville. If anyone could hear this, if anyone gets this message, you are not alone." And his buddy comes up through the pool with the scuba gear. Dude, I found a whole bunch of scuba gear in the back. This is awesome. You got to try this. It just
You didn't do it right. It's supposed to be, if he's Robert Neville, wouldn't he talk like this? Well, that's Robin Neville.
that's Aaron Neville.
Aaron? I don't know. I get my
Whatever.
Nevilles fucked up all the time.
Did you ever? Howard Stern used to play this thing. Used to play this song. What is that thing on Aaron Neville's face? Oh, what is that thing on Aaron Neville's face?
Oh shit! We need to get back to Will Smith though.
Yeah,
So
back to Will Smith.
So Tyler, you came on mainly to talk about this. What the fuck, dude?
They make money. That's the problem. None of these movies have actually flopped outside of Alice in Wonderland, and if you look at Disney's other schedules, they all flop. Do you remember the Wrinkle in Time?
Well, I think the first one the Alice in Wonderland made money, but the second one didn't. I think.
But
That's the
Wrinkle
only
in
one
Technically
Time
did. I think.
But Wrinkle in Time was diverse. I mean, there was so much diversity. It was just shitting diversity. How could it flop?
It was a loose adaptation of a 1962 book by a science Christian. What did you expect?
But diversity.
Actually, you know what's funny? It's actually less diverse in the
couldn't say
book because the medium is actually played by a woman in the book originally, but in the movie it's Zach Galifianakis.
Change that to the 50s, and you could almost apply that to Lord of the Rings. But anyway,
This is true.
Mr. Wolverine, thank you so much for the $2. What Will Smith? I give up. I know, right?
I'm waiting for the diverse cast, the diverse remake of Lord of the Rings. You're gonna have like Will Smith playing Gandalf. Yeah.
Well, isn't that what the Amazon show is going to be?
Yeah, you're gonna have Idris Elba as Aragorn.
Oh my good God, Gordley. Okay, Tyler, what the fuck, man? Other than they make money, we talked about the fact, Will Smith, with being Will Smith probably. So why not get somebody else?
Because I think that they still think he's hip and cool with kids. He's not really, but
I think I seen some interview where he said something about producing Karate Kid for his kid and Annie for his other kid, but that she didn't take it or whatever. I don't think he mentioned that, but I think he said something about this is one he did because his kids love the movie or something like that. I don't remember. I don't fucking care.
The other thing is in the Broadway show, the first guy to play Genie was an African American actor, so maybe they're patenting off that more.
You know what it is?
In which case, if that's true, then you expect a Black Panther joke because that's what's in the Broadway show now.
You know what it is?
Genie comes out and he does the cross hand and says Wakanda forever.
Well, really?
Yeah, no, really.
Oh God.
Oh,
It's
boy.
actually more endearing than making it sound. They play it more sarcastic, not pop culture-y.
He's gonna come out and say, "Yo, Wakanda forever." You know what I mean?
No,
This is a story all about how I hijacked a Disney movie.
He's the Fresh Prince of Algebra.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I expect to hear that. You know what it is too. Will Smith is still a huge star overseas. He's a huge star.
I was just gonna say Willie Woodward said that.
He's a huge star in China. He's a huge star.
China.
He's a huge star in China. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Smith,
okay.
I know Will Smith. Okay.
Great guy. Great guy. They don't even know how to pronounce China right.
Yes. You supposed to like your vagina. Okay. Oh boy. But that's all. But that's what this really is. I mean, Will Smith, he's there for marketing purposes. Like I said, he's still a huge star overseas. And
he's gonna rap in the fucking movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Probably is.
You know we're gonna get a rap version of "You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me." You know
The
this,
Broadway version
right?
didn't even do that. They went with the straight up Broadway version. So yeah, they'll do it.
For Christ, I just want to cry because this is one of my. I care about this more than I do Lion King. At least Lion King's in Jon Favreau's hands, and that's not one of my favorites. I really don't care. This
To be
one,
fair, I've given up hope long ago because Beauty and the Beast was my "Why would you do this to me? You're hurting me, Disney. Why?"
see, that's another one I could almost ignore, but it was just more of a, what the fuck is this thing?
But
John T. Net and I lost it here. C. Kruger, thank you so much for your donations. We have $2 from C. Kruger. He says, this just in, Jaden Smith is confirmed as Abu. That would not surprise me.
Abu's not in this version.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Neither is the parrot that was voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. He's out.
John T. Is he? Because I thought.
No, he's not. He's replaced by a guy named Hakeem.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. I was thinking of the other bird character then, or whatever the Ferguson does the voice for. I can't remember which one.
Well,
no, that's in Lion King. Never mind. Yeah.
John Tenet, I heard this on. I heard this like on. Actually, I heard it on Howard. Actually, they were talking about Will Smith. They were saying, why is Will Smith still in movies? And Robin was saying he's still a huge star overseas. And you had a lot, and actually, yeah, you did have marketing people. You had some marketing people, some Hollywood people saying
not in China, but he is in other countries, probably.
Yeah. Not so much in China anymore.
There will be definitely a comment by Zelda Williams saying, "Oh, I'm so proud of this version. Will Smith is honoring my father." They're gonna get that comment, and you know it.
Yada yada yada, and diversity. That's what they're gonna say.
I hope so.
No. They're gonna get Williams' daughter to endorse the movie to make it seem it's okay. It's okay. It's like all the other remakes have done that.
It is not okay. It is not okay.
No. In fact, that's why they probably could have used audio clips they never used. But remember,
that's
his
what I
contract
said
when he died said that. Yeah, you can't do that.
Let me tell you, if I ever wrote something like a book or a novel or whatever, or came up with like a beloved property, and Disney came to me and said, "Hey, we want to make this," and I'd say, "Okay, listen, come to me with what you're doing," and if I saw something like this, I'd be the first one to publicly say, "What the fuck did you do?" It's just, you'd see Robot Shlomo slams Disney for treatment of his hit property, One Flew Over the Giggity Nest or whatever, So, my God.
It's funny to try to find out who to blame for all this, because there's several names you can obviously yell at, and none of them are just the Disney presidents.
Well, not only that,
this
one has like one of the worst fucking directors, Guy Ritchie, to do it.
That's it. Yeah, the only movie I ever liked by him was just Snatch and what was the other one? Lock, Talk, Two Smoking Barrels. That's it. The first two movies, everything else sucks.
Well, he's just a totally wrong person for this.
He's never done a musical either.
Snatch wasn't it? Then I'm confused that with a porn movie I saw.
No, that's also not confused with the Amy Schumer movie.
So many people I know loved Trainspotting. That was Guy Ritchie, wasn't he? Wasn't it?
No, that's Danny Boyle.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Okay.
Guy Ritchie did one of the. He didn't do one of the. He was going to do one of the Bond, or did he do one of the Bond movies?
No, he didn't.
No, he never did. Danny Boyle was the guy that was supposed to do the Bond.
Okay, see now you're getting me fucked up now. That's how much I give a shit about Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie though, he was the one with Madonna though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the two Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr.
That's what. Okay, yeah. Fuck this. I don't care. I don't want to watch this movie. It's pissing me off.
I'm not gonna watch. Like I just saw Wreck-It Ralph this morning, and I had to watch this trailer for this, the trailer for Mary Poppins 2, and I'm like, oh please, Disney, stop! I like you. Don't do this.
Wreck-It Ralph was awesome.
Yes, it was, and it had a cameo from my favorite singer of all time. So nice.
Did anybody hear that actually? Disney made the director take a Kylo Ren joke out of Wreck-It Ralph.
This is true. They wanted to make him be a whiny baby, but apparently LucasArts said, no, don't do that. And they went, okay, fine.
Yeah, I think I even seen a screenshot or something of him in it.
Yeah, there was a screenshot of it.
Oh, please find it. I haven't seen it yet. Please.
They make a lot of other jokes at Disney itself, though. Don't worry.
Yeah, I get, but this is probably gonna be one of those extra heavily heavy doses of meta humor that Will Smith is going to be making fun of all like self-referential Disney-isms, and we just saw a trailer for Hellboy where they,
which is what we're going to talk about. Let's just talk about that. Fuck this. But, finish your thought before we go to it.
Yeah, but it just seems like now there's this whole trend towards that whole, fourth wall breaking meta humor, and this is not. It worked in the cartoon because it's a cartoon. You can suspend your disbelief easier. Okay, it's a 2D cartoon. Okay, I know that this is a fictionalized world. I can go with it. But to have, is he going to be making like Harlem Globetrotter jokes? Whatever.
If the kids know that is still.
Yeah.
Well, they did make a lot of modern jokes in the other Aladdin, so to be fair there.
That's the one thing about Aladdin that I will say, it's not a movie that's going to age well in about 50 years.
No. Well, it did. Well, parts of it did help that Robin made sure to reference things that are almost timeless.
Like Charlie Rose?
To a point.
That's not, no, it's Charlie Rose.
Yeah, there's a quick Charlie Rose impersonation at one point.
Maybe, I don't remember that. I'm talking more about like Sullivan and Jack Nicholson and stuff like that.
William F. Buckley, actually.
And also Robert De Niro in a lot of his movies.
Yeah, but De Niro's timeless, so that's what I'm saying. He references stuff that's old, was already kind of old then.
Yeah,
so that's the way around that. So, but
referencing like Black Panther, that's not going to age super well.
No, worse. But speaking of things not aging well, and we just brought this up, Hellboy had a trailer drop today. Somebody please tell me why this just isn't Hellboy 3 with Robb.
Hellboy 2 didn't make money.
Look, we got a Chinese guy, okay, we got a black girl, and we got a werewolf, we got is that Man Bear Pig over there?
It is. He's super
cereal.
He's super cereal.
Half Man Bear Pig, it's half man, half bear, half pig.
Oh, and it takes place in London. So we have all the we have like a number of the diversity. Yes. London
Ian
for the
McCollum, or whatever his name, not Ian McCollum. Ian McShane is the only reason this thing looks any good.
Cocksucker McGee.
Yeah, and the makeup they got on Hellboy looks worse than '90s makeup. Why is Ron Perlman not in this movie? Why is this just not Hellboy 3?
Because Hellboy 2 didn't make money. That's it.
What the fuck? This is, well, first of all, it should be called Deadpool Boy. Let's get into that.
Oh yeah, it looks so much like a Deadpool movie. That was my first thought, and I don't even have any attachment to Hellboy or Deadpool, and I'm like, oh, this is a Deadpool trailer.
Yeah. And the internet's sucking this movie's dick already with the trailer, and I'm sorry, I know they're known for being so fucking negative, but I got nothing out of this soulless thing. Rob, I know you got a rant about it. What do you got to say?
I'm not even a fan of Hellboy, and I'm like, I find this I find this repulsive. I'm like, this appeals to me. This appeals to me on no level, not a single level. I'm, and again, you're just making it a Deadpool ripoff, and is this gonna be rated R?
Yeah, it is, or it was supposed to be, but now I'm starting to wonder. And Braybon 1 brings up a good point. This was something else I was going to bring up. The tone is wrong. They lied to us. They told us this was going to be a darker, more closer to the comic Hellboy, which the original movies were fairly close to the comic. They weren't like exact, but they were close. Why couldn't this just been a balls out Hellboy 3 with Ron Perlman and whoever else they can get back? Fuck it. What the shit is this?
I just hope they're not trying to court the Christian audience, because they're not going to watch this no matter what.
Oh, hell no.
This is a focus group driven
clearly
movie by committee. That's what this is.
Yeah, Thunderdan the Action Man. This picture is really busy. So is the trailer. Mecha said it looked like a video game. Mecha, have you seen the other movies with Ron Perlman?
No.
Okay,
I have.
Okay, well, Tyler, we'll get to you just a second. So, not seeing the other movies, obviously, it didn't sound like you were that enthused to see this.
No, it looks like Deadpool, and I don't like Deadpool, so here's where everyone hates on me. No, it's just not my style. It looked too much like Deadpool, or like a wannabe Deadpool.
Creases in his fucking makeup. You can see the lines where, like, it's a bad makeup compared to Ron Perlman's. Tyler, what did you think? Am I wrong here?
No. I agree. I'm not very impressed by what I've seen. Like
And
the makeup does seem a little bit substandard. It all
Yeah.
seems very cluttered and busy and CGI everywhere. Go.
Well, the CGI just we're getting a lot more like the same kind of humor as the other movies. So again, I reiterate, there's nothing in this trailer that tells me why we're just
Like
not
I said,
getting
some
Deadpool 3.
producer looked at it and said that the first movie made money, second one didn't, and let's just reboot that again. But let's not get the old director and that old guy that people don't remember anymore. Let's get the new people. That guy from Stranger Things.
It just looks like a cheap, straight-to-video sequel of the older movies.
Yeah.
This would have been acceptable in the mid-90s.
That's what I said. It looks like 90s style. Like, look at Ron Perlman's makeup job, and then look at this shit. Like I said, you can see the seams and shit in his makeup. They'll probably fix some of that in CGI later, but they shouldn't have to. I give him credit for doing it with makeup and doing, so much of that with practical, but everything else is CGI.
Yeah.
And so was in the last, Hellboy movie. But again, nothing in this trailer is showing me that this should be a movie. I don't get it.
Be thankful if he
Without
even
Ron
actually did his
Perlman.
makeup, because some studio probably said, let's make it CGI. That can make it cheaper.
Well, and it's even more goofier, if you ask me, than the tone of the old Hellboy. Like this was wall-to-wall jokes. It was all jokes.
Like the only jokes in the original were, he had some quips here and there that were kind of amusing.
Right. He had a very wry, dark sense of humor, and that's pretty much it.
Like red means stop, flip truck.
There was some ancillary humor here and there built in, but it wasn't distracting. This looks like one big distraction.
The name of the shop, actually, Codswallop, that's actually, it means nonsense. I'm like, oh, how fitting.
Is this a screenwriter trying to tell the audience what he thinks?
Probably. It's a meta joke. Yeah. Yeah. I got a feeling it's going to be, like I said, they're already starting with the meta humor.
Braben says Perlman didn't want to do it without Del Toro. That's probably true, but also I can imagine they never even asked him. And I'm betting that they
did not ask him, because when it got announced, he was actually vocally angry about this.
Because I was going to say, I bet you they could have convinced him to do it without Del Toro. And that's what everybody said for years. They're like, okay, we get it. You're never going to get Del Toro to make another one just because either time, money, whatever it is. Then get the next best guy to do it and just do one more, get it out of our system. This is not making me feel like I want more of this. This at best could be a Netflix series. Or like I said, it looks like a straight-to-video sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can't get the original actors back.
Yeah.
This Asian guy, he's on Hawaii 5-0. I recognize him.
What's his name?
The Asian guy from Hawaii 5-0. That's what I call him.
Not to be racist, but is that Daniel Wu?
Might be. I don't know.
I have no fucking clue.
Because that's a guy on an AMC show I kind of watch called Into the Badlands.
I just want to see more of Man Bear Pig back here.
Man Bear Pig.
Man Bear Pig.
You saw how he acted this season, and he's pretty badass.
Man Bear. Captain April, Daniel K. Kim. Thank you.
Oh, okay. He's on Crusade.
I don't know who that is.
I'm not feeling this shit. I'm sorry for those people who are, because the internet's sucking its dick for the most part. I know.
Well, that's because the internet loves everything that comes out.
It's the bestest ever.
Because it's the new one.
Mila Jovovich doesn't show up in movies anymore. She's not that good an actress. Let's be honest. She peaked with The Fifth Element.
Oh, Mila Jovovich. Yeah, well, she was in all the Resident Evil movies, though.
Those were not good movies.
No. No, but they were serviceable. It has the fan base.
It's a fan base I sure don't want to meet.
I'm sure we lost 3 more subscribers and got about 6 downvotes on this video, but hey.
Hey, if you like Resident Evil movies, fight me. I don't care. I hate those movies.
No, I don't like the Resident Evil movies. I'm talking about the Hellboy. Because I'm sorry, I love the first 2 Hellboy movies. Ron Perlman to me was Hellboy. He's probably more than willing to do it. Like I said, if they put a check under his nose, he would have done it.
Wasn't he in the recent Injustice game? Because I know Hellboy was actually a downloadable character in that.
I'm not 100% on that.
I have it. I have not played it, and I even have like the deluxe edition.
We lost, and Tom, we lost subscribers over this.
I don't know.
Oh no, I know who Daniel Day Kim is. He's Johnny Gat from the Saints Row games. I like him.
Yeah, and he was in Crusade.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Crusade, really?
Yeah, the Babylon 5 spinoff.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nice.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm looking at my Injustice 2 game. I have not played it. I bought it for like $5. I don't know. I don't know if he was in it. I think Hellboy is in this.
He is, and it's based on his appearance, but I'm not sure he's voicing. I want to say it is. It could be like how the 2010 version of Mortal Kombat had Jackie Earl Haley's version of Freddy.
I know, right? That pissed me off.
You know, it wasn't even a costume change. It's like, no, it will be always stuck on that version.
I don't like Salamander Freddy. I love Jackie Earl Haley, but they fucked it up.
All right.
I like him better when he was in what was the movie that everyone didn't like? That was by Zack Snyder.
Every
Watchmen.
movie he's done except for
every movie except for Dawn of the Dead.
Except for Dawn of the
Which
Dead,
you can not even blame on him. You can say that movie is good because James Gunn wrote it.
Probably.
James Gunn wrote not Watchmen?
Yeah, he did.
No, he wrote the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway. So, well, we were kind of waiting for a guest, but I don't think he's going to pop in here. And we got to get our stuff done before he does. So let's get into this next bit of news. This is the big news. Rob, where do we even fucking
hold on. I got a
start
message.
this?
I got a message from our guest.
And what do you
Hold on.
say? Oh, I can't show up.
Hold on. Oh, we can link him to the chat. Hold on.
Oh, I can confirm it was not Ron Perlman voicing him in Injustice 2.
But he is in there. Okay.
Yeah, it's Maul after him, but it's not him voicing.
Oh, he doesn't want to join us on the show, though.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, tried, but don't want to bump right up against my live stream. I have kind of a lot to do last one. Okay, no, all right. So okay. Okay, that's cool.
All right,
so
well,
that's cool.
That sucks, but all right. The short version, Rob. Take it after I intro it here, I guess. This Matt Miller fuck. He does a story the other day about Star Wars toxic fandom, or the end of how toxic fans finally killed Star Wars.
Oh, fuck him.
Yeah,
I know.
Fuck.
Anyway,
This
Matt.
article.
that's just the beginning of the story.
Hey Matt, you see that red liquid coming out of your MacBook? That's blood, the same one that's coming out of your vagina. Okay.
So the story gets better. He did this story, and of course, using the same old bullshit that's always used to combat and talk about how great The Last Jedi is, and all these trolls are just pissed off because of the women and the black people and the different colored people in it, and da-da-da-da-da, and they're racist, misogynistic pigs.
And the green people.
Everybody's racist.
I don't have no issues with Yoda.
Thanos was angered by this.
Everybody, according to people like Matt Miller, and according to people like who like Rachel Leishman.
Random. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Matt Miller the name of a character from Saints Row 3 who's a loser teenager?
Yeah, actually, I think he is.
So,
I don't remember what the character was, but yeah, I think he is.
So this fuckstick goes on to write this article. Herpington McDerpington, thank you so much. Herpington McDerpington, I can't even talk tonight. $5 super chat, thank you so much. Lucasfilm probably paid a pretty penny for that hit piece to be written. We'll get into something similar to that here in a minute. Now, before this even happened, we were kind of planning on talking about another part of this story that we'll get into here quick, because we don't want to go over Doomcock's show anyway. And that is that this whole Star Wars thing has just gotten out of motherfucking hand. And so Doomcock and World Class Bullshitters and a few other people, including Mecha Random.
Ethan Van Skyver is another one too.
Yeah, who did the videos about this article. And of course, this dipshit turned around and did another article on that. Did you want to read this article, Rob, for me? Or Got it handy here.
Yeah, link it to me in the chat.
All right, yeah, because you're a little bit better at the reading thing.
Oh, you poor fool.
Tim Augustine, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Who gave you guys permission to start a rant without me and to poke with a stick? I'm sorry, we're getting there. We haven't started the rant yet. We ranted about other things, but not this yet.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, the rant's coming. Oh, the rant's coming. The rant is coming. But here, I called out toxic Star Wars fandom. Then they proved my point. Da-da-da! Comedian Carlos Mencia used to have a saying for people like him. He used to call them da-da-da! So,
I mean, Carlos, my dick doesn't work, Mencia.
He's got ED?
No. It was that episode of South Park where he's being attacked by Kanye West, and he says my dick doesn't work.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you think his head exploded, which is the best part.
Yeah.
Well, needless to say, he even manages to try and attack our good friend Doomcock.
Well, okay. I got the article up here.
Yeah. Let's see what he says about this before we unpack it.
Okay. Should I read it in his voice?
Either way, I don't care. Just do it quick.
Yes. Last week, I published an article titled, "The Year Star Wars Fans Finally Ruined Star Wars." In it, I very specifically discuss the loud section of Star Wars fans who have spent the year attacking the film, its directors, and oh my god, its actors with misogynist and racist online harassment. Like, can you believe it? It seems a lot of readers either A, didn't read the article, or B, took this as an excuse to get angry online because holy shit, these people went absolutely batshit crazy. I find it hilarious that people can get so worked up over a family-oriented sci-fi film that they'll say some truly unhinged shit online. I also find it hilarious that at least 2 different people spent time to make 30-minute videos discussing my article.
Man, this guy is trying to get like the Hypocrite of the Year award from me.
Oh, there was more than
That's
2 people who
bullshit.
did us.
I'm Ryan Johnson. I deserve that motherfucker.
Okay. Just to take a brief break from Matt Miller, the Matt Miller character. Here's where it gets. Here is where he goes and plays the full-on hypocrisy card. I didn't watch either, but one was made by some person named Doomcock, a legitimately good name, I'll admit, who speaks with some sort of Darth Vader voice effect and looks like a low-rent Phantom of the Paradise. The other response to me were less eloquent. Many of these tweets told me to kindly fuck off, bitch. Ooh. They called me an SJW, a shill, God, how I wish I were making that Disney money, a whipped little boy trying to get in on the feminist world. They've asked how many cocks in shitney you suck. I don't actually understand this one. In my comments, I learned what the term NPC means. It's a new pro-Trump insult. Comparing me.
It's not a pro-Trump insult. The fucking more. No, it is not a pro-Trump insult. It is for idiots like him who just recite stupid goddamn fucking buzzwords, don't have a goddamn clue of what they're saying. Sorry, this guy made me a little mad.
He does have Trump people saying it, but I'm not going to say it.
But no, and it's for both sides have NPCs though, and it has nothing to do with politics. It is just this recycled garbage, bullshit, buzzword spewing people that we're referring to when we call them NPCs or non-player characters, because they have this pre-programmed response and they don't listen or have any other reaction or response.
Okay, well, anyway, let me skip down a bit. It's truly a bunch of I should probably say. You call Whip Little Boy.
Well, before you continue, Rob, Willie Woodward does bring up a good point, and I thought about this too when I listened to Doomcock's video earlier. He described how Doomcock looks and sounds, but how would he know that if he hadn't listened to the video?
That's actually a good point. Very good
observation.
Very good observation.
I was going to bring that up earlier, but since you brought it up already, Willie, I had to give you credit to. Yeah, it's like, okay, we're going to pick this shit apart here in just a minute. Continue.
Yeah. So, okay. I learned what NPC means. They said I was one of the crazy misandrist SJW hags who hates men. They claimed Kelly Marie Tran's online harassment was actually faked by Disney. They called for me to get fired. It's truly a bunch of absurd shit, and it's actually what I was talking about. The fandom has become toxic. My article points to the racist campaign against The Last Jedi, specifically calls out the far-right movement that attempts to control the narrative conversation around Star Wars. Don't you understand? Oh, I'm so woke.
This
Plenty
writer
of
should
fans-
watch another Disney movie, which it says, "Don't read the comments. That's it. Don't respond to this. Just move on."
Plenty of fans agree with my article, but even more took it as an excuse to get mad online. I got a lot of this. I'm not a racist, but I didn't like Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Let me be very clear, folks. I don't care if you hated Space Vegas. I don't care if you thought Luke's characterization was wrong. I don't care if you hated Kylo's shirtless scene. Not that I minded. Ooh. I'm not talking about you. I very clearly differentiate between fans who dislike the film for legitimate reasons, creative reasons, and the fans who piled on the film because they don't agree with Lucasfilm casting of non-white actors in some of its progressive themes. These two are very different groups. Fans are more than welcome to dislike The Last Jedi for legitimate filmmaking reasons, to an extent. That is, calm down. What's not fine is the pervasive online harassment of actors like Kelly Marie Tran, who's a cutie, by the way. Who was
Progressive
driven
themes
She
like
wasn't.
terrible leaders that think hair that don't actually tell men what to do.
Who was driven off social media because of racist, misogynist attacks. The response to this article demonstrated that there is a core section of Star Wars fandom that is rotten. It's amplified by pervasive social media harassment and vocal far-right abusers. Anyway, thank you for proving my point, trolls. I need some chamomile tea.
Oh, good lordy God.
I need to go for a mojito now.
Let's dig in, shall we?
Yes,
You need
yes,
cranberry juice.
yes.
All
Who wants to join Matt Miller and me for Weekend on Fire Island? Ooh.
As Michael Keller pointed out, 10 seconds of watching an intro of a Doomcock video is enough to make that assertion. That's true. But you also make the mistake that a lot of people do when he's either on our channel or on the main channel or a lot of other people's channels, and that is you hear the voice and you disregard it as something stupid instead of actually listening to what Doomcock is saying. And what Doomcock was saying was very important. And when you're going to sit here and keep dredging up The Last Jedi with the same fucking song and fucking dance you've been dredging up for a year now, what the hell did you expect? You leave honey out, a bear is going to come along and go, oh, bother, somebody left this honey out here. I better eat it.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I was saying in my rebuttal to this article video, you poke the hornet's nest, and guess what? You're gonna get stung by us, and we're so sick to death of hearing the same bullshit over and over again all year. Oh, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a misogynist, you just don't like women. It's like, fuck you. Are you that stupid that you don't understand what the actual issue is? And not only that, he had to go out of his way to show Jeff from World Class Bullshitters video on there and Doomcocks and still say, oh no, it's just men who have a problem with this thing, completely disregarding me and that Star Wars girl Jessie Milestone, all the people who have had problems with The Last Jedi who are women. It's like we don't exist to these sort of people. Or people of color.
Some people don't like this movie because of women, I'm sure. But that's a minority, and they're using it to shut up everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we wouldn't be so defensive if we didn't hear it all the time, and we didn't keep getting lumped into, oh, everybody who hates The Last Jedi is this or that. And he did, in his article, he did say that, he's trying to, or in his rebuttal anyway, he's trying to point out just this, there is a percentage of people. Why even bother bringing them up? If you know that there's still such a hot topic for all of us, why even bother bringing it up just to get clicks? Because I would never have clicked on an Esquire article if they hadn't done this. Would you guys? I never do. I mean,
well, there used to be a time where Esquire,
depending on what actress they're talking about.
Yeah,
Esquire used to be respected.
They used to be actually a pretty good, like, men's-oriented magazine, but now they have people like Matt Miller writing for them.
They can proofread at least.
Yeah, it's. But I don't know if I'm using the term properly. But this is what we can see the straw manning here going on. He creates the straw man. I'm like, you don't like The Last Jedi because, you don't like The Last Jedi because you hate women. It's not The Last Jedi you have a problem with. You have a problem with women. Like, there's the straw man. And now he absolves himself of any kind of intellectual malfeasance because he's trying to put it on the reader, on the fan base. Well, you hate women. You're the one who has a problem with women. It's not my fault you don't like the movie. Well, I think it's a brilliant piece of filmmaking, but you just don't like women. See, he creates the straw man.
Well, last week it was Russian trolls. Last week it was Russian trolls. This week it's this. Which is it? Take your pick.
Yeah.
It's one of the trolls.
Well, and then they even blamed the Russian bots for Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's either the Russian bots or it's misogynistic, fucking racist. Take your goddamn pick because one or the other is not true. Yeah, there's probably the way you're disregarding the percentage of people that actually have legitimate gripes are the percentage of people who actually are doing the racist, misogynistic shit. Okay, that's not as big as a deal as everybody keeps trying to make it out to be in the fucking media because they are trying to make a spin on a subject that they know is a hot topic and that they know is not true. And as we keep saying on the show, they're hiding behind diversity to avoid some kind of real legitimate criticism. It's actually bad.
Actually, you know what, Tom? It was actually Russian bots. Doomcock is building those Russian bots in the center of the earth, and they're using. They've learned how they become sentient and learned how to use the internet. So
the problem is
Paul Feig effect.
No, we haven't. That's the secret.
Created by Paul Feig.
Here's the thing. It's like, they've had their asses handed to them and proved wrong with Solo. You fuck with the fans, this is what's going to happen. Fandom Menace didn't show up in droves for a Star Wars movie, one that they should have, or at least should have done Rogue One numbers and didn't. Okay,
but immediately though, did you notice though that they shifted the narrative? Oh well, Solo didn't do well because it didn't star a woman of color. They tried to shift
I didn't
the
know
narrative
Han
once
Solo
again.
was a black woman.
I thought the main star was the 15-year-old girl who looks like Merida from Brave.
Well, here's the problem: you call the movie Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Solo digits of money earned.
And I'll tell you this right now. I mean, we've heard some shit, and we weren't going to talk about this, but this is just getting ridiculous now. And a gentleman who is Kyle Newman. Whoops, I didn't mean to play it yet. Kyle Newman, who is the director of a movie called Fanboys, was recently on a podcast, and he had this to say. It's going to sound like shit. Because I'm playing this through the mic, but
the name of the podcast is called Rebel Force Radio.
Yeah, Rebel Force Radio.
It was from 2005 with Kristen Bell, because I think I have seen it.
And the reason I bring this up now is because this is very related to this.
I think it's a 1999 movie. No, you're right. It's 2000. It's like a 2005
movie. Had to be later than that.
There's a part where they fight Star Trek fans in Riverside, Iowa,
and it even sat on the shelf for a couple of years. And the edit out there now is not the preferred version of the director. I know that
they're trying to break their buddy into Skywalker Ranch so they can.
It's loosely based on a true story.
Yeah.
So that he can see Star Wars before he dies because he's got cancer.
It makes George Lucas look better than he really does, though.
It's a good movie, and if I remember right, he did let this kid actually see the movie. But they made up this elaborate story to kind of sell the story. But
every single Star Wars movie, because that episode 7 had a similar story with J.J. Abrams letting a kid die of cancer.
Yeah. All right, let's listen to this real quick because it's like 38 seconds, and then we'll discuss this part here.
You look at Last Jedi, I honestly, I don't know anybody out here, maybe 2 people in my life and hundreds of people I've talked to that like the movie. All the filmmakers I know that won't talk about it publicly. All the people I know internally, there's all these people that won't, even journalists that give it positive reviews are like, I do that because I need to maintain my access. Like, privately, there's a lot of people that really don't like that film.
The thing about it too, though.
So you're saying the ones who gave it good reviews really are phony reviews?
But the other thing too is it's just the fact that it should be.
I can't name them, but yes. No, well, of course, yes.
There it is.
Unrelated Kevin Smith picture.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, be friendly to us, or Madam Kathy's going to throw her out the window.
That's what I'm saying. As every time I say that this is why people give it a positive review.
I'm sure some people actually genuinely liked it, but
those people are delusional.
Well, there's things about it I like. I'll admit that. But when you're digging to the depths that some of these people do to not only either defend it or bash people who legitimately want want to say something about it and how they felt. And then
James Tyler, by the way, great name. Andy
Yeah.
Signor also had a lot of other problems too, beside positive reviews for movies.
Well, let's read the thing before we answer. James Tyler, thank you so much for the $5. He says asks Andy Signor confirmed in an interview that Screen Junkies could not be too harsh on films or the access could be taken away. Yeah, see, he's not the first one to do that though either. And we've said that before, but this is just even more conclusive evidence that this whole toxic fan bullshit that they're making up in the fucking papers, or well, the media sites, I call it the papers because I'm old, is just bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. And it's to spin this narrative that there's this toxic fandom that's killing the fans that just sprouted out of nowhere. No, fans have always been fickle. We just have the internet now. And if you fuck something up that we care about, you're going to hear about it. I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes.
Could you imagine what it would have been like if the Phantom Menace had internet?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like Facebook posts for years about, I hate this Jar Jar Binks guy.
Yeah, see, and that's what people forget, that we didn't have the internet and instant access and all these things back then. I mean, you just had word of mouth, and you had a
Let's go further back.
few
What about
message
internet
boards.
when Return of the Jedi came out? Because there are some contentious elements about that movie.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though. I mean, now, Tom and I remember an era where movie critics were actually pretty well respected. Isn't that right, Tom?
In what way?
Well, you had guys like Siskel and Ebert.
Oh, that, yeah. Well,
Steve
yeah.
Shallot. You had Rex Reed.
Yeah, they would give you their opinion because they worked for like a network that was not owned by the studio.
That isn't necessarily true.
Or they worked for
visuals.
Siskel and Ebert worked for Disney for years. Buena Vista owned their show for many, many years, but they made it very clear that they were not going to coattail to anybody. And Disney has also been known to strong arm people like the LA Times. So,
but they also work for Chicago Tribune and Chicago sometimes. And actually, there was an incident where they gave a bad review to a movie called Nuns on the Run, and they were threatened with taking their early access
Nuns on the
privileges.
Run. Rob, was that one of your Nina Hartley movies?
No,
but close.
No, close to it though.
Well, Eric Idle.
Eric Idle and
Robbie Coltrane.
Yeah, and actually, they said they were going to take away their screening privileges, and they said, they actually said, well, you know what? If that's the case, we'll just pay to see the movie like everybody else, and they can't stop us from doing that. But so this has kind of been going on for a long time. But we're at a point now, though, where there's a lot of critics, and again, we see this with more the less professional sites. We see this with people like Grace Randolph. We see this people,
which, by the way, she's on Rotten Tomatoes now.
Oh,
we could be too if we wanted to be.
Yeah,
we should.
We got to do apply.
We should. Let's do that. We'll fuck up the whole algorithm.
Like, I've always wanted to write reviews.
Midnight Edge has enough subscribers.
But there's been a fundamental shift though, where Siskel and Ebert were paid by the newspaper publishers, the Sun Times and the Tribune. These websites are paying them based on clicks.
Well, and also we got to remind people that so many more of these media outlets are owned by the companies.
Yes, comicbook.com is owned by CBS now. But the thing is, in order to drive the clicks, they need access. I'm not condoning what they do, but I understand why they're doing it. But at the same time, what you've done is you've created this false narrative around this film, and now when you're getting pushback, which was inevitably going to happen. I mean, and in the words of Boris Badenov, the jig is up. We now know with this what's his name? Kyle. What was his name? Kyle. What's this guy's name? Who said this? Somebody?
Matt Miller.
No, Kyle. The guy Kyle with the interview, the Rebel Force Radio
guy.
Oh, Kyle. Shit, I just forgot his name. Newman.
Kyle Newman. Hello, Newman. So anyway, this guy It's Kyle Newman. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to say this, but at the same time, you know, we all suspected that this was going on. But this whole attitude I'm seeing about, and this has gone for The Last Jedi, and this is actually going for actually now into the Spider-Verse. You have this whole narrative, and now they're not protecting the film, they're protecting the narrative. You don't like it? Oh my God, how can you not like it? Well, you just have a problem. And they're doing anything they can. They will play that card from the bottom of the deck to defend these movies and to defend, because it's not just defending their movies, they're defending their livelihood. They know they're getting clicks. And as soon as they see that they're full of shit, that means their business goes away. People are going to stop clicking, they're going to stop reading, they're going to stop seeing the videos, and they're going to lose everything. So they
haven't played that card yet with Into Spider-Verse, have they?
They're pretty close to it.
Because the only people who didn't like it was simply that critic that famously hates everything, and that's about it.
And me and Tom. So, but we're seeing greatest Spider-Man movie ever. I'm like, bullshit. It's the greatest Spider-Man movie.
That's really why I'm being so contentious. If that's what I'm looking for. About Spider-Curse is because it's getting such rave reviews. If everybody was just saying it was decent enough as a kids movie, I wouldn't give a fuck. It's the fact that everybody's saying it's the best Spider-Man movie ever. And that's fine. You can love it, but don't go around saying it's the best Spider-Man movie ever, especially in headlines. That's
I'm not seeing fans en masse like TLJ saying that they don't like it. I'm just seeing like one person, two persons,
but the whole narrative rising up around it reminds me an awful lot of The Last Jedi, the greatest ever. This is the greatest Spider-Man movie ever. Best movie of the year. Deserves an Oscar. It's all the same talking points, and they're just being recycled for this film, and which made me say, wait a minute, hold on. This looks awfully familiar. And I think we're going to see this now a lot more from now on. And I'm hoping that what's going to happen is the audiences are going to wise up and start rejecting this. Start rejecting, you hate saying it, but I think the audiences are going to have to show these studios that, hey, you know what? You're telling me this movie's great, but it doesn't matter. I'm not giving you my money.
Well, not only that, I mean, people are talking about journalistic integrity and being scared about being on blacklists and all that kind of stuff in the chat. Coming from the point of view where we come from, look, there's no money in being honest.
No.
I'll be honest with you, because every time somebody accuses us of being paid off by Disney or something like that for whatever reason, it's like I'll turn around to Andre and I'll say, so how much did I not sell out my integrity for this week now? Because it never happens. It never happens. We've never gotten a single offer.
No.
Because we tell the truth is probably the main reason why.
It's like Joe Blow news site hasn't even asked us, you want to do this for this much money?
No, well, it's like they have so many people. They have like probably thousands of YouTubers out there who kiss their ass constantly on the hopes that they'll get noticed to get like early access to things or gift baskets or boxes to open on their YouTube channels.
Like
and I saw that. Oh yeah, and there's so many of them like that came over from gaming too. Like I saw it so much with the Nintendo channels, where they would like just kiss the ass of Nintendo, and that they're doing that. So they would never even go out of their way to
do that to
us.
even exist, because if they were any bit negative to Nintendo, they would be smited.
Exactly, and that's kind of how people, I think, they might be ending up, who are not even like the shill level ones, but like the ones that are kind of hoping to get to the shill level.
Well, journalism as a whole has been taking on the chin over the last few years. I mean, we have people who don't even know what journalists do. And,
really? That bad?
Oh yeah. And you know what? And I keep saying we're seeing actually a lot of these movie sites and movie blogs and whatever. They don't deal in reporting news. All they do is just talk about fan theories, because that's what drives clicks. And they're easy. It's easy. They remember a couple years ago used to be listicles. Remember those?
Well, we're just as guilty as some of the other sites of using,
but we're not
sensationalized titles and stuff like that to get you guys to watch our video. But we at least hope we give you some sort of, value out of what we're doing, in a sense that we're not going to feed you full of shit. We're going to give it to you like it is.
Well, there's that old
of our knowledge. And we're not going to candy coat our opinions in one way or the other.
Well, there's the old saying in journalism: "Dog bites man is not news. Man bites dog is." So we have to try to get you to click on. It's difficult to get noticed in YouTube and on YouTube and in various mediums. So we kind of have to be a little clickbaity here and there. Which
Because
is
we're
why
not doing clickbait like here's this half-naked lady talking about big news of Star Wars, and it turned out to be nothing.
Yeah, and we're not doing the Jeff Snyder clickbait. 95% chance Peter Parker's not going to be white, and when he knows that's absolute bullshit.
Well, and it always seems like After Dark gets kicked a lot more because we're the smaller of the two channels for various reasons. And I'm not going to get into it all because, a lot of it's more theories and all that kind of stuff. But I see people talking about Siskel and Ebert in the chat, and, you can not like them, but they're the reason we're here right now. And I would argue they're half the reason that we have like a lot of this kind of stuff on the internet and YouTube to a point and certain things because of what they brought to the table. Because before they were around, all a reviewer was like one of the jobs you give to the guy who mops up the floor.
Hmm.
Oh,
they made it popular, they made it cool, they made it profitable.
Yeah. Well, not only that, Ebert won a Nobel Prize.
Yeah, he did.
He's the
in fact, what was the famous line he said about what was it, Rob Schneider? It's like, I have a Pulitzer Prize, so suck it.
Or Pulitzer. I'm sorry. Did I say Nobel? I meant Pulitzer. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. And yeah, he's the only critic, as far as I know, to win one. So
only one I know too.
Yeah. Somebody actually on my channel called me a Siskel and Ebert wannabe. I'm like, thank you. That's a very nice compliment.
Yeah.
Remember that episode of The Critic they were both on?
Yeah.
Oh, that was
if Rob
fabulous.
and I could accomplish their chemistry,
so I can be
we would love that. I mean, I don't idolize the guys, but they had fucking chemistry, and they could agree like nobody, and they could argue like nobody else.
But you always learned something,
whether you agreed with them or not. Yeah,
you always.
Does that make me Richard Roper?
I don't know. I say that maybe more Mecha, but maybe you never know.
Even the Ebert and Roper version of the show was pretty good.
Not too bad.
I forget there's like 20 clips on YouTube after so many great moments with both Ebert, Siskel, and Roper, and one of them was Roper saying, "I like this movie because it has hot chicks in it," and then he says, "Well, my opinion's sure growing," and Roger goes, "Yeah, it's the only thing growing, I'm sure."
No, and Roper was one of the few critics who actually gave Ghostbusters a bad review.
Yeah, he called it out. Everybody saying you're all cowards for saying this movie's good because women.
Yeah.
Andre is God, Dr. Meatball. That's all we have. He's God.
Yeah, he's one of the things. Actually, there was a story about Roger Ebert when he was auditioning people to. Because you can't replace Gene Siskel, but he was auditioning people to have the show keep going on for his co-host, and he brought in Harry Knowles.
The disgraced Harry Knowles.
Well, this is the pre-disgraced Harry Knowles, and he said
the original neckbeard.
Yes, he said, "Here's this guy. He had to weigh 400 pounds. It looked like it looked and smelled like he hadn't bathed in a week. And he's sitting there, and he takes up the entire chair. And Roger Ebert's saying, "I'm a big guy, but this guy put me to shame." And he goes, "I'm looking at him, and we're 5 minutes into the show, and I'm saying, my God, what have I done? I think I killed my career." So. But Harry Knowles, I think Harry Knowles kind of started this whole thing with the clicks, and everything, the whole "Ain't It Cool" news, and people were
not kidding when I created neckbeards. I'm actually genuinely serious. I think that term came from him.
Yeah, and I was one. I never got the whole neckbeard thing. I never got. I like, don't you, like, guys? Get a disposable razor for a couple bucks and a can of shaving cream. Yeah, get to work. Jeez.
I had a former roommate who basically fit that description.
Ooh.
Well, it's the thing. I don't know. Someone once asked me about that. It's not, and we're getting all kind of off topic. Those kind of guys. They were saying it's not that they're gay. They just don't like girls, a lot of them. So I guess it's not a priority for them to keep their appearances up. So,
well, except for Harry Knowles, because isn't he really actually gay?
Is he?
I don't know. Is he?
I think so. I thought I heard that.
Okay.
If somebody knows otherwise, let me know. But
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, we got like 10 more minutes here, and
he's a terrible reviewer in general, Harry Knowles. I remember his review for that really bad version of A Night of Living Dead, where he flat out said, "If you say you like this, I will ban you," and he actually did ban people.
That place died fast. I remember going to Ain't It Cool News multiple times a day. You know, and it just turned to shit. And I mean, there's still some people from there that I respect and actually know kind of through channels and stuff, but other than that, yeah. So back to toxic fucking fandom. They at least gave Doomcock a shout out. I mean, really, this is the stupid thing about this article is all he does is prove our point. He thinks it proves his point. Well, no, it doesn't. And that's what Doomcock gets into his video. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted him to get on here so he could, reiterate some of the things that he said in the video instead of us trying to, because he really nailed it, and it's just so ironic that he gets a shout out from this guy. And I don't even think the guy realizes what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Chud site.
What's that?
KSSS says, remember the Chud site. I'm trying to remember what that is. I remember Chud.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand. Knowles was also accused by sexual harassment of women. So
that's why we said disgraced.
Maybe you didn't hear more from me. I'm sorry.
Maybe he's not. Yeah, so what's going on with you, Mecha, over there?
Oh, sorry, Meg. We haven't heard from a while.
It's nice that they shouted out Doomcock and World Class, but this is what I was ranting about earlier.
You gonna take this, so go on, take the floor now.
He totally ignored once again the fact that women have a problem with this by not even mentioning us in the video that we disagree with him. Like, he didn't even bother to say that. And I know Anna, that Star Wars girl, had like a 3-hour rant about it, and I think he finally acknowledged her. But that's what we have to do, is we have to like yell and scream for hours and hours and hours. And I was brutal to this motherfucker. I mean, I was like, I'm surprised